Hi, my name is Marco. I'm a pro opera singer turned voice actor. Dark Souls 3, Pontiff Sulyvahn. Is this the guy in the church with the two different colored swords? Because I think I remember Pontiff Sulyvahn. If you look up Pontiff in the dictionary, it says the Pope. Is Pontiff Sulyvahn the Pope? The word Pontiff comes from the Latin pontifex, meaning bridge builder. So hey, maybe Pontiff Sulyvahn's actually a good guy. Let's listen to his music. Okay, is he a good guy? So here's the thing about this music, right? We have a children's choir. And actually, funny enough, when I first heard this, it almost sounded like a pipe organ. It almost sounds like we're playing chords on an organ, but it's a little nefarious, isn't it? Hey, it's the main theme of Dark Souls 3. Of course, we have that incredible violin at the very beginning. Again, there's angst. Again, there's pain. Again, there's suffering. I just want a happy song in Dark Souls. I'm never gonna get it. And that's the thing about this track is that if the Pontiff is a bridge builder, something went awry. Do you hear how this sounds like a dilapidated liturgical piece of music? This sounds like something that you would hear in a church, or I think it's appropriate for a pontiff. However, there's something really unwell about it. It sounds sickly, it sounds ill, it sounds deformed. It sounds like it's something like burying itself under your skin. It's almost like Pontiff Sulyvahn was up to some not great things, and it's all messed up. And the thing is, you hear that because of the sopranos, right? There's this wall of sound, a very forced entrance. And then after that, we have a bunch of movement. There are some augmented notes. There's a lot of notes that are out of the key, that are pitched up, that are half steps higher than they should be. There's some dissonance in here. There's augmentation. There's a feeling of unrest and dis-ease that is very apparent, and it sounds like something that you would hear in a church setting that is deformed. Now check this out. Rum, bum, 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 bum. Finally, we have some sort of rhythm, but you feel, in a way, there's a bit of a whirlwind. There's no real footing to settle in on. There's no feeling of rhythmic propulsion here. There's this sort of, almost like we're swimming and the waves are picking up and it's spinning around us and we're suddenly, and that actually makes sense if I really remember this fight because I fought Pontiff Sulyvahn a lot and I died a lot. I remember this distinctly. One of those moves is this sort of twirling move, if I remember. There's a real feeling of no solid ground here. And until now, we're getting into this rhythmic feeling of rum bum bum bum. Wow, that is really interesting. There's a rage in there. And actually, we do get a glimpse of the Dark Souls 3 main theme, if I remember. There's a real violence about that, a liturgical violence, if that's possible. It's an incredibly harrowing sensation. It's almost like this blind rage takes over the Pontiff, and suddenly someone that we should trust becomes our enemy. And you really feel that sort of like almost like a stab in the back, kind of. It's very, very powerful. Let me look up the lore here. Though little is certain regarding Sulyvahn's true nature, the Ashes of Arundel expansion reveals that Sulyvahn was born in the painted world of Arundel. From the unused dialogue in the painted world, as well as the tree-like motifs visible on Sulyvahn himself, one can surmise that he is the son of the feral tree woman found in the painting. Despite being born and raised inside the painting, he has not yet experienced the loss of despair that most residents of the painting had prior to their arrival. As such, he had no meaningful connection to the painted world, and subsequently went on an indefinite pilgrimage outside the painting to the wider world, forsaking the frost sorceries that Arundel had pioneered in favor of more esoteric magic. The young frost sorcerer eventually encountered the profaned capital below a tundra some distance from Irithyll, and found the profaned flame within it. Taking the profaned greatsword along with his ambition, he set out to control Irithyll. He eventually accomplished his goal through subterfuge against the Dark Moon Knights, and created his own Pontiff Knights to maintain control in Irithyll while the Outsider Knights were sent to conquer faraway lands. To make sure the Outriders never betrayed or opposed the Pontiff, they were gifted magical rings that, unbeknownst to them, would eventually drive them mad with visions of endless combat and turn them into feral beasts. Outrider Knights were therefore seen as exiles, unworthy of praise, as they were fated to be nothing more than dogs of war for the Twisted Sorcerer's campaign. Notable members among the Outrider Knights were Vort and the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, a distant daughter of the Irithylian royal family, both of whom were tasked with conquering Lothric. Prior to the Undead Curse's resurgence and prior to the rekindling of the last true Age of Fire. You can check out my Dancer of the Boreal Valley video here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Sulyvahn also became a devout follower of the Church of the Deep, followed by Saint Aldrich. Sulyvahn's Archdeacon Royce, Archdeacon MacDonald, and Archdeacon Klimt were the main leaders of the church succeeding Aldrich. After Aldrich rose from his coffin in the Cathedral of the Deep, he journeyed to the Cathedral of Anorlando with MacDonald, where Sulyvahn had imprisoned the god of the Dark Moon, Dark Sun Gwyndolin, and his sister, Company Captain Yorshka, after taking control of the city. When the Ashen One reaches the city, they face only the hollow spirits of the Pontiff Knights. Sulyvahn, standing in the cathedral with nothing left to lose, had tried to put his army back together, bringing his knights back to life with necromancy, and can be found holding his swords and ready to fight. His elegant vests tattered from his duel against Aldrich. Beyond him, the clerics have secured the access to Anorlando, where their lord Aldrich has just become the god's devourer. We find a broken being with nothing left to lose. And I think we hear that in the music, that intensity, especially in the second phase, almost as if this is the last chance to live and to own that life that they had so desired. It's really interesting stuff. As always, if you like this, feel free to like, subscribe. There's links in the About section if you want to support the channel. And as always, thanks a ton, and I'll talk to you later.